What is the role of the armed officer in Police Scotland?
The armed officer, by definition, is there to attend firearms incidents and other incidents where there's a perceived firearms threat. Last year they attended over 1,300 of these incidents, which equates to about 3 a day. So I think the big debate just now is about what the firearms officers do when they are not actually deployed to firearms incidents. Well, the reality is they're police officers first and foremost. So it's only right and proper that when they're not deployed to firearms incidents, they're deployed into the local communities, assisting the local policing divisions and actually delivering on what those local communities have told us are their greatest public concerns. That's a critical role for the firearms officer, as it is for the community police officer, as it is for the response officer and the detective. That's what Police Scotland do.
What kind of training do they undertake? Is it not dangerous officers carrying weapons and a risk to the public?
Our firearms officers are highly professional and highly skilled officers. To be an armed response officer in our ARV crews, you have to undergo a 9-week intensive training course which tests the officers in a whole variety of skills, and it really it's only the best officers that will actually pass this really challenging course. Once they've passed the course, it doesn't stop. You know, last year all our armed response officers undertook 16 days of refresher training, where again they're tested in their skills, they're tested in whole various other elements of their role, and it's that we need to tell the public that actually these officers are highly skilled, they're highly trained, they're highly professional in what they do, they know what they do, and they do it very, very safely on the streets of Scotland.
Why do you wish to video me?
Because I want to make sure that what proceeds from this moment on is documented.
Okay, but I'm not videoing you.
Yeah, well, that says maybe, so then am I free to go?
Not at the moment. I want to get some details from you.
You're not going to get any details from me unless you think I've broken the law.
Right.
Do you think I've broken the law?
But I'd like to know who I'm dealing with. I'd like to know who I'm speaking to. Okay? Do you have any identification on you? Don't video me. Okay? There's no need to do that. I'm not doing that. You're now infringing my human rights by videoing
That's not
me.
actually an infringement of your human rights. Otherwise, the paparazzi wouldn't be able to survive in this establishment.
Right. I'm now telling you, don't video me.
So that's an order now.
It's an order now.
Under what law?
I'm telling you, don't video me.
Under what law?
Okay? If you keep going at this, you're obstructing me in the course of my
Listen, mate,
duty.
I don't want any hassle with you, right? I just want to go on my way and make my weary way back, which I've got several miles to go. And this thing weighs 22 kilos.
We don't need to have any hassle.
You know?
Okay? All we need to do is speak civilly, okay? As we're doing at the moment.
So I wasn't being civil when I was walking along the road minding my business.
I am perfectly at liberty to come approach any member of the public and speak to them.
There are certain
for
protocols
whatever
that
reason.
are designed that you're supposed to follow.
What would they be?
It's your first day as well?
Aye, how you doing?
Alright. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
If you get started with that guy.
What? Right into the deep end?
Aye, isn't it?
Aye, how on you go?
What are we going to say?
I don't know, just going to say.
Would you want to do it?
Aye, I'll do it.
No, sorry, I'll do it.
Yeah, here it comes, on you go.
Right. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Where are you going?
I'm away to work.
Right, go on.
That was brilliant.
That's the guy where he's gone, doing my business, and
And he tells you.
he tells me. Don't even know the guy.
Best job in the world.
Oh, it's starting to hit me now.
Well, first of all, you do not have the right to tell somebody not to record audio and video in a public place.
But when you're specifically videoing me, you're not videoing generally in the public place.
Well,
you're
you
videoing,
are in the general public place.
You're videoing a specific person.
I'm
That
surprised that
person's
as a
me.
police officer you don't know that.
Well, I'm very surprised that you feel the need to video me.
Well, I feel the need to video you because it's sad that not every police officer is as courteous as yourself is.
Okay.
You know, and
Well,
so that's why it's for my own protection.
Right, you've no need to protect yourself from me. I can assure you of that.
Well,
okay?
I wish I could take your word for
Right.
that, mate. Just
So-
as I wish you could take my word for it that there's beans in this vest,
Okay.
and I'd like to be on my way.
Right, well, I'm not satisfied because I haven't seen them.
But what right do you have to look into my personal belongings?
Right, would it be normal procedure then? I work these streets up every day, okay? And I come along here and I see somebody wearing a vest that's very similar in appearance to what we wear as police officers. That's not normal, okay? So, me being a police officer, it's my duty to establish exactly what that person is doing, why they're wearing what looks like a tactical vest. It's not normal to see somebody dressed the way you are, okay?
If you saw an old lady going along in a wheelchair with one of these, would your suspicion have been equally aroused?
I would still want to establish exactly what it was, because again, that would not be normal. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Well, it depends on your definition of normal, mate. Everybody dressed differently, you know.
Yeah, and
this has got a specific function for which I am using it, you know.
Okay, and all I'm asking is for you to cooperate with me and establish that that is exactly the function it's been used for.
Well, that is the function it's been used for.
Okay, right. Well, I can't prove that just by speaking to you here. For my privacy, you don't video me.
Well, that's something that you're just going to have to live with if you're in a public place, I'm afraid.
Is that? But it's my human right not to be videoed by a complete stranger.
That's in your house. It's behind your net curtains.
Yeah, but
that's why we've got net curtains.
You're not videoing generally in the area, are you?
I am videoing generally in the area. I was videoing earlier on coming through
You're videoing me.
I'm videoing you now for my protection.
Okay.
Because as it's my understanding, with the laws of this land on which I stand right now, in the absence of committing any crime, I am free to go about my business without giving my details.
Yeah, but I'm speaking to you, okay?
And that's what I would like to do.
I've spoken to you, I've explained why I'm speaking to you, okay? I've explained that my suspicions were aroused. You're now being, you're not giving me your details. That again raises my suspicion.
Well, I hoped I would have allayed your suspicions when I showed you that in this vest were weighted beans.
But I would also, it's also
and you seem quite happy with that.
Yeah, I am. I'm happy now I've seen that. However, I'm not happy with the fact that you're declining your details to me.
That's not your legal position. That's your personal position. Your legal position would come into play if I have broken a law or if I have committed a crime, which by your own admission here just 2 seconds ago I have not. No. And with that in mind, I would like to proceed along on my way, please.
Right, well, I'm not until you give me your
So
details.
you must be detaining me then.
I've already asked you not to video me, okay? I've asked you 3 times now.
So under what law are you detaining me?
Did I say I was detaining you?
Is that a gun? When did the police start carrying firearms?
Depends on what part of the police you work in, sir.
I must have missed the news flash on that one.
Okay, I'm having a word with my colleague and I'll come back and speak to you, okay?
So what would you say to any members of the public who are concerned by the presence of armed officers on the street?
I speak to the firearms officers, the armed policing officers all the time, and they tell me that their interaction with the public is great. You know, 99.9% of the time the public don't even notice that they're carrying a firearm. You know, 99.9% of the time the public are quite supportive of us, and when we do explain why we're there, they actually get it. You know, last year we had about, well, conservatively, over 20,000 contacts with members of the public in non-firearm situations. You know, so our officers stop somebody for not wearing a seatbelt or a mobile phone or street drinking. 20,000 times, at least 20,000 times we come into contact with members of the public. There's been no kickback about that. So what we are reading in the press about outrage around armed policing officers is not actually what we're experiencing on the street. In terms of public reassurance and how we go about our business, it goes back to a professional manner in which we train and how in which we deploy.
The situation I'm in is I've been in the house for 1976 and the council just came in and decided they were pulling down. They said they were just going to make it a grass fair, and then all of a sudden we're going to be the village for the Commonwealth Games. 2 weeks ago I got a letter from them. They did come in and offer me an alternative, a house in Cranhill, but I've been born and bred in the East End and I'm not wanting to leave here, and it's all down to money. I just feel as if they're just coming in and taking away our full life and saying we're taking that away and no gain is anything. Been here alone, coming up for 5.5 years. I feel isolated because we've not got any neighbours. I always said I wanted to stay in the country, but I didn't realise in Dunmannock, the East End, I'm in the country. I don't even see any neighbours. No, so it's one of these things. I don't see anybody. Sometimes people stop me and they go, I've not seen you for ages, because you become a recluse. The thing I feel it for is my wee boy, because he's 15 and he's hardly got any pals to play with. And he doesn't want to bring his pals back to a derelict building with just his house in it, and that's it. And I feel like more for him than anything else, because it's where do they go? Used to be there were tons of kids here where they could all go out and play. Now they're not. They've just actually come in and wiped out a community. They're breaching my human rights. They're coming in and taking my life, my house away. And it's not as if they've got any care in the world. They're not interested in me. I'm just a wee person and they just walk right over the top of me. It's been mentally, emotionally. I've lost 12.5 stone in a year. There's been a lot of health issues. Anybody that's sitting in the situation will realise their health issues. It's not just, it doesn't just affect me, it affects everybody. My boys come and they go, Mum, have you heard anything? What's happening? Everybody's more concerned because I was sat no well. Just everything's stressful. It's not just sitting waiting, it's just everything. You're looking out your window and you're looking out the window of derelict land. You see now they've got the tractors digging up just through for me. It's just, everything's all derelict and I'm just sitting in the building myself. I've not got corporate lawyers and all that, but I don't understand how they can bring sheriff officers in to evict you out your house, a house that you've paid for. Because this is what the CPO is, they're just walking in and they're saying they don't care whether anybody's staying there or not, they're putting a CPO order on it.
Every effort will be made to try and resolve this amicably, but if it's not, there's only one, position that the Commonwealth Games Organising Committee will be in, and that will be to forcibly remove her. This is about the greater good. One person can't stop that.
I'm not leaving. I'll not be leaving till I get the right money. And I don't care what laws and whatever. I can't leave till I get the correct money to purchase a place. I've been born and bred in Dunmannock and I've not wanted any better than everybody else because we're all the same. We're all the same.
John, yes, the Giaconelli family expected the sheriff's officers from noon. At about 12:25 they arrived. They arrived to find the family had barricaded themselves inside the flat with a dozen or so of their supporters outside. They had a conversation through the living room window with the Giaconelli family, and then they left, and we haven't seen them since, although we do expect them back at some point this afternoon.
To the firearms officers, the armed policing officers all the time, and they tell me that their interaction with the public is great.
It's not normal to see somebody dressed the way you are, okay?